And the recording is on. In the previous session, we have seen the constructor, and now we'll be seeing, do you have my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, see, in this session, we are going to see now, you learn how to create, private fields in the class. Okay. So just we need to provide, underscore, before the variable. So it's called prefixing variables with underscore. Okay. So you're prefixing underscore, okay? Prefixing variables with underscore. Okay, so let me first comment it because it starts to analyze it as syntax. Okay, all right. So whenever you make any variable, you want to make private, okay, then in that case you just prefix it with underscore, okay. So when you define property for a class, okay, property means it's a data, okay, any class you name it. Let's say class student, okay. So you want to define, property like, marks, okay. So int marks, okay. So you define it like this, okay. You are defining the type of the variable and the variable name. Okay, so here the accessibility of the property in this one, it's a public. Okay, so when it's a public, you can call these variables outside the classes. Okay, so when the accessibility is public, what, let me put it here. Okay, when it's a public, this called accessibility. Okay, so you can, access these, you can access it. It means it's a function or property data. You can access it outside of a class. And to make the property, private, you need to prefix, like underscore, like this. Okay, so now this is a private one. Okay, so, generally, if it's a private one, then it cannot be accessed, outside this class. Okay, so basically variable, it's a class, see, note that here the variable of a class, is generally called a field. It's called field, it's called data. Okay, and if you want to make it, access from outside class, then that property, that is called property. Okay, so, data can be accessed outside the class and it cannot be accessed outside the class. Okay. So let's take another example in here. Okay. Let's create a class, array. Okay. In the previous session, we have taken this example. We have X, we initialize it to 0. We have Y. We initialize it to 0. Okay. We have constructor over here and we are saying these are, optional one. Okay. Okay. And now you can assign this to, these are also called, named properties. Okay. And you say this dot x is equal to, this is private field. So don't forget to use underscore. And then this dot underscore y. Okay. When you pass, if you don't pass y's value, in that case, it will take it as 0. And now this constructor is, it is done. Okay. So now you want to, here create a show function. Okay. And show function, it's going to show the, values of, x and y. So we can say x is equal to $x. Okay, it's a private one. So use $x and then here comma, we say y is equal to, you can say $_y. Okay. Remember, if it has underscore, no, it's a private one. Don't forget to give semicolon over here. And now it's time to write a main function in here. Okay. Void main. And then in here you create one instance, it's an arithmetic object. So you can say OB1. OB stands for object. Okay, you're creating first object here. So you can see these are named properties. So you define what you values you are passing. Okay. So I'm passing for X 10, for Y I'm passing 20. So see in here, you can change actually ordering also. If you want to send first Y, no problem, because ordering here doesn't matter, because in here you're saying that this value is for X and this value is for Y, you know. So we are passing with the name values, we are passing it with names. So it's no issue literally. So what you saying, okay? In what order you saying? Okay. And then you say OB1 dot, call the show function in here. So, it should print that X is 10 and Y is, 20. We need to copy this code now. Okay. Uh, Cut it and paste it outside. Okay, hold on. Let me call cut paste. Okay, so in this case now, okay, so let's run this code now. Okay, it's printing x10 and y20. Likewise, you can create other variables, other instances for the class array. Okay, let me show you. You can pass on different values now. Okay, we have to give different name to the instance. Here we pass on 100 and 200. And in here, we call the show function upon object 2. You can see here, this is for object 2. Okay, these properties are for object 2. So, here what's happening is, we first define these $x and $y as the private properties. Okay, so we can call it as private properties. This is for your reference. Okay, I'm providing comment here. Okay, so it is private properties for the, arrays class. Okay, and next we initialize these properties. Next we initialize these properties, in the constructor. Okay, so this private X property is initialized to the value that we sent. The private property Y for the arith class, we initialize it to Y that we sent it in here. And so as we are defining this X and Y, private field, so that's why constructor, initializes, $x and $y, with the corresponding arguments X and Y. Not necessary you have to take X and Y here, you can take different names also. Okay, if you're not used to it, you can take A and B. Just remember, if you take A and B, you have to change it all the places, except these private properties, okay? So here you need to now here say it's a $x. Okay, here you have to say, sorry, not in here, in here, okay? So here you have to say it's a A property and this is B and this is A and this is, and you can rerun the program now. So in this one, you can see the program is working fine. Okay, and finally what we have done, we have created a new object here, OB1, and we call the show method upon it. Okay, so OB1 is calling show method. So show function, it already knows that this function is getting called by OB1. So it is showing the private properties of OB1, X and Y. Okay. So this attempts to access these private properties, $x and $y. Okay. All right. So, and now let's say I want to print this the way I have written this, if I can, let me just copy and paste it in here. Okay. In the main function, let's say. So let's say, I want to assign this OB1's, private property X to, 300. Okay, and I want to assign OB1's $Y property to 400. Okay, and then I want to see the changes that I have made in the main function. So one more time, I am calling the show function. Okay, let's see. See, in here, I am trying to change it to, 300. Okay, here, see, here, what we have done, we are changing it to 10 and 20, and here we are changing it to 300 and 400. Okay, so this code works in a way that you may not expect that these private X and private fields are supposed to be, that you are expecting this to be, these are private one. Okay, so in actually Dart, the privacy is, at the library level. Okay, rather than the class level. Okay, so in Dart, actually, you might wonder that this should not be accessed because, these are private one. Okay, how can you access it outside the class? So basic reason for this is that, let me type it in here. In Dart, you know, the privacy is at the library level rather than class level. Okay. So, when you add underscore to variable, it makes it, library private, not class private. Okay. So when you have added underscore here, it's a private properties at library level. Okay. And not for, it's not private, class private. Okay. So now, for now, you can understand that library is simply a Dart file. Okay. So what is library then? You might wonder what is library. Okay. We understand what is class. Okay. So outside, if it's a class private, what is class private? If it's a class private means outside class, you cannot access. Okay. But in here, this is library level. Okay. So library level means outside library, outside file you cannot access. Outside file you cannot access. Okay. So library actually, library level means file level you can consider for now. Okay. And now as you can see this main function and this class array, these two, like this one class and main function, they are on the same file, isn't it? They are on the same file. So you can say that, like, how can you access this one then? Okay, ob1.x and ob1.y, how it's working, how it's changing the properties of ob1. Okay, okay, how x got modified, how x got modified, x and y both, how they got modified. It's only reason that they got modified because, main function and class array, they are, okay, in the same file. Okay, so they are in the same file. That's why they got modified. Okay, so that's why main function can access the private fields of the array class. That's why hence in main function you can access private data or properties, or properties, in class. Okay, you say you can access class private data or class private data. Okay, class private data or properties in a class. So let me just do multi-line comment in here. It will be much better if we have multi-line comments. So when main and class arrays, they are in the same file, hence, since they are in the same file, you can say since they are in the same file, okay, in main function, you can access class private data properties, okay. This comment will help you to understand private properties. And let's say to prevent other functions from accessing the private fields of the arith class, you need to create a new library and place the class in it. Okay. All right. So it's like, you need to create this complete thing in a new file. Okay. Let's say what you do, you copy this arith class in one file. Okay. Just like, you don't have class arith and a main in the same file. So you can, write the main function in, let's say you can name this file as arith dot, dart. Okay. Name of the file is, okay, arith dot dart. Okay. And you can put this class, you can put arith class in it. Okay. Only arith class you are supposed to write inside. Okay. Arith dot dart file. You can put arith class in file arith dot dart and no main function in it. Okay. All right. And you need to import this file in this file. So let's say this is the main dot dart file. This is another file, okay, that you can use notepad to create two different files. In one arith dot dart, you keep only arith class, and in main dot dart file, you keep this file, okay, main function, okay. You can have this one, and inside this main dot, you can write main function, okay, and import the array the dot dart. Don't forget to import, okay. So how do you import, okay? If it's this different file main dot dart, then you can import it like this, import, and then you can say array the dot dart, like this you can import, okay. Okay. And now if you import this one, and this is going to load this file. Now this is the different one. Hold on 1 minute, please. Let me open up the Visual Studio Code. Okay. So, what you have to do actually, you have to create two files in here. Okay. So, I have this Visual Studio Code open now. Okay. Sorry, it took some time to open it. Okay, sorry for the delay. And you know what you have to do? You have to open up the, first extension. Okay, you don't have my screen, right? So let me share the Visual Studio Code one. So, okay, hold on just. I think we don't have the code folder here. Let me create the code folder first. Okay. Okay, let me open it up. Let me create a new file arith.tart here first. Okay, so let me share my screen. Sorry, it took so much time. Okay, do you have my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
see in here, we are supposed to, create one arith. So let me just do copy paste the code because we have already wasted few minutes in here. So writing code we will save the time. Okay, so it should cover the time now. Okay, it should save the time. Okay, see in here, we have arith class. So you need to save it. Okay, so I saved it. You don't write main function in the same file. Okay, so you have to, create a new file in here. Okay, so I will say main.dart file. And in that, you have to copy paste the main function. Okay, so I'll copy paste this and in here I'll do that. Okay, now it says it gives me error. See, arith isn't defined. Okay, as because we are not writing main function and this arith class in the same file. That's why we need to import it. That's why I told you that you need to import this. Okay, arith dot. See, we have imported this now. Okay, all right, so we will save it now. Okay, let's run it. Okay, what are the builders it said? I think we need to here save it and just here there is a start debugging. Okay. Okay, it says, okay, see, what are they saying? I wanted to show this error to you, okay? That, what is they saying? What are they saying? See, how X and Y got modified, at this line, ob1 dot x is saying that, these are private now. Okay, now you might wonder, before it was working, now it's not working. How is it possible? It's only possible because now these are, the private field works when in Dart, privacy is at the library level, means file level. Okay, library or file level. Okay, so that means when this function and class it is in different files. Okay, at that time this cannot work. Okay, this private variables properties of the class cannot be accessed. Okay, when this function arith and main function it is in the same file. At that time it will work. That's why this it is throwing this error. Understand? All right, so it's saying that this is not defined for the class arith. That is why. Okay. So let's say, you go to the file and here you create new file. Okay. So it contains, two files. So let's say 3.dart. Okay. We're just naming it read order, and then we copy this to one into this read order. Okay. And then main function also we are doing copy in here. We just don't import it because we don't want to import. We want to now import or bring in all the contents of this, okay, file into read order. Okay, so in here you can see we have class everything here and we have main function in here. Okay, so it means this should run. Okay, so let me save this one and let me run this one. Okay, what is this saying? Oh, it executed. See, it is showing the answer now. See, you got my point now? That the privacy doesn't work in the same file. Okay, like privacy, it's not private anymore as because arith class and the main function, it is in the same file. When it is in different file, no, like you are bringing this class from other file, okay, that time this private, it works. Okay, you understand this one?
Yes.
Okay, so now what we are going to do is, we want to now summarize all this, okay, what we have learned. So let me just share the, you know, different files. Okay, to summarize all this, we can have some key points in here. So let me just put up here comment. So this is like conclusion, what we have learned in this session. So you can add underscore, okay, add underscore to variables, okay, to make it private, okay, at library level, okay, rather than class level, rather than class level. And a library, it's a file actually, okay, it's a source code file. So you don't get confused. What is library? It's a library is a source code file. Okay, in that. And another one, you can use initializer list in the unnamed constructor. Okay, use initializer in the unnamed constructor. So initialize, private fields. Okay. So, that is to overcome this, how to access, this private properties in another file. In order to do that, no, you can use this, colon field. Okay. So it's a, that's a comma separated list actually. Okay. That is called initializer list. Okay. That you have to put it. Okay. So how you can do it? Let me show it to you. Okay. If you want to use, private fields, okay, you may find a problem. Okay. Like, unnamed constructor and something. So, this causes problem. Okay. So let me just share you the different editor. Okay. It's a Visual Studio Code I am sharing now. So in this one, arith.dart file. In this arith.dart file, you might have a constructor in here. Okay, this one. Okay, here. So this has a constructor, and this is causing problem. This code actually causes an error. And to fix it, you need to use something called initializer list. Okay, and what is that initializer list? So let's see that. What you need to do is basically you need to have initialize this line. Okay, this way. So let me show it to you. Just let me comment it first in here. So we have to say arith, and it is same way as you have defined it before, comma int y equal to 0. And then in here we have to say colon. Okay, you don't have to here write these properties. Okay, curly brackets in here. You just have to say in here colon, and you have to say x equal to x, and then comma, okay, equal to y. Okay, this is how you can do it. Okay, and then you have show function. Okay, so what we have done in this one, we have created the comma separated list. Here it's a comma separated list that we have created, that appears after the semicolon in here. Okay, and this is called initializer list. Okay, so this is used to initialize the private fields. Okay, so let me tell you here by providing the comment in here. So use initializer list in the unnamed constructor. Okay, to initialize private fields. Okay, so that's it. So that's all for today's session. Okay, and if you do you have any questions? Do you have any questions regarding this? We have seen in detail, about these private fields. Okay, what is library level? What is same file? How you can access private fields. Okay, so just remember this, that private data is it's not private in the same file. Okay, and it's at library level. Okay, all right. Do you have any questions?
No.
And then you?
No.
Okay, so are you doing practicals? Like from the previous session, did you do practical?
Yes, sir.
Did you do practical?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, very good. All right, then see you in the next session. Let me stop this, okay?